As industries evolve and strive to do more with less, count on Ecolab to help you optimize, protect, and delight. With optimized operations, we help improve efficiencies and deliver consistent results. We help protect reputations, proactively working to safeguard your brand and alleviate customer concerns. Cleaner and safer environments lead to delighted guests, customers, residents, students, and staff. Ecolab is here to help power your performance so you can deliver for your customers, providing a safe, healthy, and unbeatable experience.
Welcome to ACF Chefs Forum. We appreciate all of you tuning in today for this webinar and hope you're ready to learn how to best optimize your operations and labor efficiency through best practices in cleaning and sanitation. Thanks again to Ecolab for bringing us today's learning opportunity. As you know, now more than ever, it's important for culinarians to connect, to share, and to offer inspiration and mentorship, which is exactly why we're excited to have an expert here with information just for you, the leaders of the food service industry. Before we begin, as a note, we'll be answering questions after the presentation, but please feel free to use the chat function to collaborate with other chefs tuning in today. And you can use the Q&A function anytime to enter your question to pose to today's guest speaker. So let's get the conversation going in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. I'm Jackie Pressinger, American Culinary Federation's Director of Strategic Partnerships. And we are thrilled to have an industry expert here with us today from Ecolab. As a principal technical account specialist, John Kale provides technical expertise to both North American and global customers. He has a BA in chemistry and has spent 7 years within Ecolab RD&E across 3 divisions. 6 of his 7 years were spent working in product development for food and beverage manufacturing, focusing on food safety and antimicrobial development. He is certainly a wealth of information on today's topic. So at this time, I'll pass the presentation over to our special guest. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Jackie. All right, I'm gonna start sharing my screen, but thank you for the great introduction and welcome everyone. Thank you guys for joining. All right. So as Jackie set this up, we are really talking about ways to optimize your cleaning operations to help offset those labor challenges that we know are pressing and facing across everyone here. So I'll skip my intro since Jackie did my introduction, but thank you very much for that, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about this topic overall, and hopefully to share some insights and field some questions from you at the end. So before we get into each of these specific topics, I wanted to just provide a brief overview of where we're going today in this presentation. So first, we'll start off with some of the high-level food service challenges and kind of just set the tone for where we're going to be going with the rest of the presentation. So we'll be highlighting a few of the different areas within your operations, including the warewash space, touching on procedures and equipment and chemistry that can help offset those labor challenges and optimize the operation. Next, we'll move towards surface cleaning and sanitizing. And then next, degreasing for heavy degreasing applications. And then lastly, towards our featured innovation for a few different items in that space that are new and exciting things that we wanted to share before wrapping it up at the end, kind of summarizing everything that we did cover. As I mentioned, and I think Jackie said as well, feel free to toss questions into the Q&A as well as talk amongst yourself throughout. We will field the questions at the end of this presentation and try to address as many things as we can. So at Ecolab, what we do is we partner with our customers to really power those critical outcomes and help drive financial performance. But really wanted to, we do focus on trying to provide our customers, and their guests satisfaction in the operation, helping meet heightened expectations of guests to deliver cleaner and exceptional experiences, as well as protecting your brand and your reputation. We would like to partner with you to provide that cleaner and healthier environment that helps safeguard your visitors, but also your brand, because that is of the utmost importance in this day and age. And lastly, optimizing operations, helping you with our solutions to achieve and ensure a higher standard of efficiency and consistency across your operations in every area. And really, what we're looking at and what we're hearing is that cleaning and disinfection are more critical than ever in this day and age, as you're all acutely aware. Roughly 7 in 10 people are saying that they're more aware of hygiene and sanitation. 85% of people are saying that visible cleaning is critically important to their choices. And roughly a quarter of people are saying that cleaning and sanitation is the top factor in choosing which businesses that they visit these days. So getting into some of the specific food service challenges, labor really is, from what we're hearing, that number one concern. Companies and businesses are seeking ways to simplify their operations while also attracting and retaining their labor force. As of June and July of 2021, roughly 75% of operators were saying that recruiting and retaining employees was one of the top challenges that they were facing as a business. And 70%, I don't even need to almost go over these figures, but 70% of restaurants are understaffed, on top of struggling with any other additional supply shortages. And then the last piece is that food service employees are, what we're hearing and finding is that they are insufficiently trained. Roughly 32% of those cite lack of training as a top challenge, and almost half are responding that they're being trained less than once a year, which just kind of piles on to some of the challenges in that labor force and labor section around complexity of the operations, bringing on new staff, and retaining them. And for us at Ecolab, we try to understand where is some of that food service labor spent. And obviously there's a large portion of that that's spent in cleaning and sanitizing and disinfecting the surfaces to keep your operations running smoothly and safely. And those are the areas that we're going to address today in terms of products and solutions and procedures that can help impact the labor side of these tasks within your business. So the first section that I'll talk about is within warewashing. And I'll highlight a few different things. First off being procedures, and then chemistry, and then lastly some equipment that that can help offset or impact the labor. The first piece is really driving efficiency and reducing rewash through proper procedures. So the three things that we wanted to talk about here is really ensuring pre-scrapping and proper racking. This is kind of one of the first steps in processing dishware and warewash. If the dishes are heavily soiled or have half a plate full of food and you're running them through the dishwasher, it's going to present some challenges in terms of getting the results that you want. And then combined with that, making sure that the dishes are racked properly to ensure that the surfaces are exposed properly to the spray within that dish machine so that it can hit all of those different surfaces and remove the soils from the dishes on the first pass every time. Additionally, utilization of a pre-soak to break down food soils on flatware and ramekins can help that first pass success through the dish machine, removing some of those harder or dried on soils on those flatware. And then the last piece here from a procedural standpoint is glassware. Glassware is one of the types of ware that is the easiest to see any deficiencies in the wash program or see any potential soil or food soil that's built up. And so it's best practice to dump and fill the dish machine prior to running glassware. You do not want to run a dish machine, glassware through the machine and right after running 15 or 20 racks of heavily soiled plates and wares. As you may see some of the residual soil or stuff appear on that glassware. So it's best practice to dump and fill that machine and run glassware first because it's that most sensitive item. So beyond procedures, there's other opportunity to drive efficiency and reduce rewash through using the proper chemistry. And so we've done a lot of research over the last few years in terms of gathering insights to how diets are changing in today's world, as well as water usage. Roughly 20 years ago, the water usage per rack was between 1.5 and 2 gallons. And the dietary habits and patterns was that it was more grain and only some protein. Whereas today we're seeing a lot less water used by dish machines because they're driving efficiencies and being more sustainable in their design, while also having higher protein diets. And these two factors put some challenges and stress on chemistry that was developed, 15, 20, or more years ago. It just wasn't designed to handle some of these conditions that we're experiencing today with the evolution of our higher protein diets and more water restricted applications. Oh, didn't need to do that. But on top of that, the things we haven't seen change. We've seen that there's roughly a similar amount of wares being processed. Pre-scrapping tendencies or patterns haven't really changed. The food soil concentration in the tank is increasing, but the protein in that tanks is increasing while having fewer total racks run. And the impacts of this is that we see that protein with traditional wash chemistry is prevalent on roughly 71% of wares. Hand polishing is required on almost half of wares that are coming out of the machines, and there's a high rate of rewash of nearly 20%, which is what I wanted to highlight from the chemistry standpoint is our Smart Power line. Our Smart Power chemistry is a line of solid warewash chemistry for both machine detergent, machine rinse aid, manual warewash detergent, third sink sanitizer, as well as that pre-soak product that I was mentioning earlier. This chemistry, our Smart Power line, ensures one-pass wash to tackle those increased food soil loads, specifically protein. Our dish machine product detergent has been formulated with enzymes that really help to break down those proteins and remove it from the ware. And what we've seen is because of this chemistry, it's helped reduce labor costs through reducing the amount of rewash or re-racks. It's proven to show that it reduced roughly 61% of rewash, resulting in an overall 10% reduction of racks washed. And lastly, the last component of kind of the warewash space of this is on the machine side of the equipment. I wanted to highlight our EHT/EHT, which would be the ventless version of our dish machine, combined with our Smart Cycle technology. This is kind of the last piece of all three of these from a procedure, chemistry, and machine that work well in concert with one another to help you get those clean results, and then at the lowest total cost of operation. The EHT machine has an integrated heat recovery system that helps capture water vapor or that steam to enable a ventless operation. It also has automated procedures that reduce the reliance on operators for improved procedure compliance. And it utilizes a high pressure rinse technology that reduces water and energy up to 50%. And this machine is combined with our Smart Cycle technology that automatically adjusts that wash cycle based on the types of wares that are in the rack. So plates will wash differently and have different chemistry and water and temperature usage versus glassware or other flatware. So it helps optimize that use of water, energy, and chemistry while still achieving those superior results. So in summary, before getting into the surface cleaning and sanitizing, warewashing really is, you can drive efficiency through that combination of procedures, chemistry, and the equipment that's being used. These technologies work best in concert with one another and can help lead to those operational savings. So next up is surface cleaning and sanitizing. I wanted to start off with just kind of further definition and making sure I set the stage for some differences in products and what they're used and why and where. And of these products that I wanted to define is really food contact sanitizing versus hard surface disinfectants. So it's really important to understand where these products are supposed to be used. So a food contact sanitizer is intended to be used on food contact surfaces, which are surfaces that you may eat off of or food preparation areas, as well as your third compartment sink. A hard surface disinfection or disinfectant is intended to be used on non-food contact surfaces, such as high touch point surfaces and objects in the restrooms or guest rooms, in public spaces or lobbies or meeting rooms. So a bit different in terms of the application space. And why? The food contact sanitizer meets those food code requirements and is approved for use on food contact surfaces. It also is designed to target pathogens that are related to foodborne illnesses, whereas disinfectants they have a different level of kill performance against a broader range of pathogens, including more public health organisms that are found in restrooms and healthcare settings and are not deemed to be food contact safe. So making sure that you select the right product for the job is an important piece of the overall cleaning and sanitation kind of program and approach. So looking at the current state of cleaning, what we see here is kind of just an overview of an average food service facility. So you have your kitchen and prep area kind of in the bottom right portion of this diagram. And on the left side, you have seating and kind of eating area and bar area. And we see all these different colored dots that are related to the different types of products and where you would need to use them. The current state, and this represents that current state, so including your food contact sanitizer and disinfectant product, a detergent, and then your degreaser. And when I look at this chart, it's confusing. If I had to look at this from a map and understanding where to use these different types of products and how to do it, it can be a lot to handle. Compliance is also difficult to achieve when there's so many different products to be used on these different surfaces. And multiple different products are being used to clean and then sanitize. So it's really important to try and identify products that are multi-purpose to try and help eliminate those steps and reduce the overall complexity. And one product that I wanted to highlight is our sink and surface cleaner sanitizer. So currently, the process to clean and sanitize your tables out in the front of house area, or even your prep surfaces in the back of house, includes 3 steps and 2 different products. The first step being cleaning and using some type of cleaning product. In this example, we have our peroxide multi-surface cleaner and disinfectant, followed by a rinse step, and then finally wrapping it up with a sanitizer using a food contact sanitizer. With our sink and surface cleaner sanitizer product, this can be used on food contact surfaces, and it's only a 2-step product with one single two-step process with one product. So in the first step, you spray or wipe the product on to clean that surface. And then the second step, with no rinse needed between them, is another application of that product to sanitize that surface, whether by spray or by wiping with a rag. This product also does carry a 30-second norovirus claim with no rinse, which is an industry-leading time claim for norovirus. So I wanted to return to this kind of graphic of looking at this food service facility and current state versus if you're using sink and surface cleaner sanitizer, one of those multi-use products. This product is intended to be used across all of those food contact surfaces, both front of house and back of house. And you can see that it makes it a lot easier to understand where to use the product and how to perform these tasks appropriately. There's no rinse between those the cleaning and sanitizing steps anymore with this product. It's one single product to use across all of those food contact surfaces, and it's multifunctional with multiple different applications. You do see that there's still 4 total products that need to be used because different spaces do have some different requirements, such as you're still going to have to use a degreaser on some of those applications, but it makes it far simpler for general cleaning and sanitizing across all of the different areas of your facility. So identifying opportunities and products that have that multi-use can really help drive down the complexity of this process and increase compliance to make sure that everything is being cleaned and sanitized appropriately. On a similar note, another product I wanted to highlight from a multi-use or multiple application process is our no rinse alkaline floor cleaner. This is a floor cleaner that's designed to be used in both the front and back of house. And on top of that, in the name, as it states in the name, there's no rinse required. So this can reduce, for using floor cleaner products in the back of house that are really designed for those grease or heavier back of house soils that then require a rinse. This product, can shorten that process overall, and it's compatible with all types of floor material and good against a lot of soils in that front of house space as well. So it can be used across all the different floors in your facility without having to have two different products that are designed for those different applications. This product can cover it all and reduce the challenges associated with rinsing and compliance there. So in summary, on the surface hygiene and sanitizing side of things, really trying to identify opportunities for products that are multiple use and can simplify that operation from a process standpoint. Those types of products will help you drive compliance. And some of those examples are our sink and surface cleaner sanitizer that has that 30-second norovirus claim, as well as our no rinse alkaline floor cleaner, which can be used across all areas of a food service facility, both front of house and back of house. The next area I wanted to talk about is degreasing, which we all know is a really labor-intensive process and can be complicated, requiring multiple different steps required in a specific order. So we want to try and derive efficiency and simplify your processes by choosing the right products and tools to reduce those steps in complexity, as well as reducing dependency on reaching certain temperatures before or for cleaning. So reducing complexity and dependency for doing boil out process of your fryers. The standard boil out process requires a lot of different steps, as you can see here, including removing the oil, filling that fryer with water, boiling, adding chemistry, scrubbing, degreasing the exterior, draining and neutralizing, rinsing, and then finally replacing oil. And this process can take up to close to an hour to complete. And it also does require a high amount of temperature during the process and time to wait for that solution to come up to temperature. We have a product called our Grease Express No Boil Fryer Cleaner that can reduce that boil out process and fryer cleaning process from roughly 50 minutes down to 20 minutes. So dramatic reduction in time, and you don't need to wait for that fryer to heat up during this process just to get it clean. So the process is much simpler. It goes from removing the oil, applying this product by spray onto all the different surfaces on the interior of the fryer, scrubbing it, and then applying a final rinse, and then replacing the oil. So far simpler process and reducing that dependency on temperature requirements to achieve that clean. The next product in the degreaser space, again, reducing dependency on temperature and that elbow grease that's involved. And this is our Grease Express High Temp Grill Cleaner. This product can be applied and clean the grill surfaces at 350 degrees. So there's no need to wait for that grill temperature to come down at the end of the night. And it strips that grease buildup in just 60 seconds. And then lastly, it doesn't require a rinse. All the ingredients in this product have clearance for incidental food contact. So it's simply an application when that grill is hot, wait a minute, scrub, and scrape the grease down to the grease drain. And then next, we'll move into some of that featured innovation. And there's three different things that I'll be talking about here. The first one is our Prep and Print Flex and food rotation program. So this is our digital food labeling system, which assures accuracy of your food storage shelf life and food rotation plans, and can print labels in multiple language and help reduce your labor costs. In addition to the full set of information that's on the container, these labels are highly customizable and come in several varieties that include dissolvable labels. It's a thing that's common that we see around removing labels that have that sticky residue in the end, and trying to wash that off is a challenge we see in this space that can lead to more time and just complexity and legibility challenges. And so our labels are designed, like I said, to be customizable and do have the option of having dissolvable ones that can go directly into the dish machine. The next innovation that I wanted to highlight is our food service intelligence. So this tool is a digital innovation that helps you harness your back of house data for smarter operations. It's a back of house analytics program that is accessed via our Ecolab Connect portal, and it provides personalized support for your unique objectives and decision making. And it provides at-a-glance dashboards to help see trends across your locations or employee shifts that are related to hand hygiene, sanitizing of hard surfaces, and dish machine performance and activities there. It provides definitive actions to your equipment unit and to equip the unit managers and headquarters and our Ecolab service team so that our service specialists know where attention is needed, either from an operations standpoint, from products, or potentially training. This system also provides alerts and targeted training to help address specific risks and drive compliance and optimize labor. So a little bit of more detail on the FSI, or food service intelligence, and how it works. So this solution works by enabling sensors in the dish machine, in hand care dispensers or hand soap dispensers, as well as our sanitizer dispensers, to collect information around clean dishes, clean hands, and clean surfaces. And we partner with our customers on this to define what metrics that they want to achieve, either per shift or per day, in terms of how frequent they want to be cleaning their surfaces, or how many times they expect their staff to wash their hands, to help reduce potential cross contamination, as well as staff safety and guest safety. And we provide this information out to the restaurant staff so they can take action on information they're receiving on trends, and also the corporate office, and lastly, our Ecolab service and support teams. And this system is, like I said, is going to be collecting that information from these sensors in those different areas, providing that data to our cloud system, and then sending out notifications to those who need it so that they can take actionable action on those insights. The next piece from a featured innovation is another digital tool here, and it is our on-demand digital training. And this is one of the things I mentioned at the beginning around challenges from a labor standpoint, and addressing this is training and insufficient training for staff. Our on-demand digital training is bite-sized, task-based training that can help improve onboarding and retention to make sure that staff knows what they should be doing and when they should be doing it. It also helps drive more consistent operations, across locations and even within locations, so that you can build a workforce that's prepared to do their job efficiently and achieve a consistent level of clean. And it also enables increased safety, protecting people and reputations by improving adherence to some of those critical cleaning protocols, such as sanitizing and disinfection. This training, like I said, is task-based, or another word you may hear is micro-learning. They're on average roughly 3-minute lessons that focus on specific individual tasks across, within the operation. And how it works is, we can set up a learner invite or a hierarchy of folks that need to be, included in a training. It also tracks the progress and completions of those different training modules, and it uses analytics through basic reporting for actionable insights to drive that focused learning home. This on-demand digital training is accessible both via desktop and mobile applications. So it's friendly across any device, and it provides learning assessments that are organized by courses and lessons that matter the most to your employee or staff's specific role. And there is an in-app resource center that can be utilized to easily access certain support tools if needed. So some final takeaways here that I just wanted to kind of reiterate at the end of this is that operations are obviously undergoing a tremendous amount of change and an unprecedented number of novel challenges, both public health guidance, labor shortages, and heightened public expectations. There's a need to stay focused on managing your public health risks and the perception of clean as staff does return. Optimized operations are really critical to drive that labor efficiency and increase operational savings. And there's a lot of those different areas that can be impacted, including your warewash space from a procedures, products, and equipment standpoint. In the surface hygiene, making sure that you're selecting products that are multi-use and multifunctional that can simplify the tasks and drive up compliance in those spaces for those critical applications of sanitizing and disinfection. And degreasing, there's a lot of opportunity for products that we have that can help simplify the processes and make it more effective, as well as being less dependent on temperature throughout that process. And then finally, some of those digital tools and information can help drive that compliance across operations and within an operation to kind of drill down on where the risks are and identify opportunities for training in the future to ensure that the staff knows how to do what they need to do and focused on their routine tasks. So at this point, I'll open it up towards Q&A, and Jackie, if you want to help facilitate any questions that have come in through the chat during this presentation, that would be really appreciated.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully there's no question stumpers in here because there are some great questions. And for those of you tuning in, hopefully we'll be able to get to your questions as well. The first question is do you have any special cleaning advice for preventing cross-contamination specifically from food allergens?
Yeah, so food allergens is an interesting one. And the best advice around cross-contamination is really ensuring that those dishes are properly cleaned and sanitized. So running them through a full cycle. Allergens are considered, a food soil. They're not necessarily anything living that you can kill. They're something that needs to be removed from the surface. So running through a full dish machine process is the first step, but there's other things that you can do to go another step or two further from, if there are allergen specific wares that need to be segregated, ensuring that the dish machine is dumped and filled prior to running those, allergen kind of focused wares is something that can be done, as well as in general segregation of equipment or dishware that needs to be, a higher level of allergen, higher level of allergen kind of containment within your facility. I hope that helps address some of that question.
I think so, for sure. We did have a question that came in about the on-demand. Do you happen to know if that's available in Spanish language as well?
I believe, yes, it is available in multiple languages. So it's yes. I just had to rack my brain there for a second of that one. But yes, that does have multiple languages.
Sure. Well, great. Thank you. One of the other questions came in specifically if they are doing outside events, pop-ups, or running a food truck. Are there any major differences for best sanitation practices?
Oh boy. For events and those type of things off premise or that don't have a closed-in facility like a food truck, I think most of those normal practices are still going to apply from best practices for cleaning and sanitizing, ensuring you're using the proper products to clean and sanitize the surfaces, particularly food contact surfaces, and doing it at the right frequency. I think things are still going to normally apply in those spaces, and making sure, I guess an additional consideration is, those footprints or, food trucks are a lot smaller. So I think there's a heightened importance for having products that are multi-use, because the space within a food truck or even, other events is even smaller from a storage and what can be there. So those types of solutions are going to be the most helpful. But still those general best practices apply regardless of that space.
Great, thank you. Another chef who's tuning in has said they've heard some conflicting information regarding three-base sinks and wondering how critical the temperature of the water is when using that three-base sink method.
Yeah. So the U.S. Food Code states that the first sink of that sink needs to be maintained at no less than 110 degrees. And so that is a fairly critical item from a compliance standpoint. I guess I don't have further information on that, but I can follow up, if there's any contact information that can be shared on that one. I'm happy to follow up.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Another question has to do with storage of small wares and tools. Is something like, do you know if something like a bus bucket would be recommended, or how they can best do that when they're cleaning their kitchens?
Is this storage post cleaning or
yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whatever I would say, I guess on this one, I'd leave it more open to the specific facility in terms of what makes most sense organizationally and safety. So, particularly if there's sharp tools or things of that nature, ensuring that there's, signage around what those are, so someone doesn't reach their hands in a specific container, not knowing that it's a mix of wares, that there's sharp objects in there. That would be kind of my recommendation from that perspective, but it would be more, I imagine, down to the unit level of what kind of works in their space and, where to store things properly. Once they're cleaned and sanitized from that perspective, safety wise, they should be good. But really it's going to depend on that specific space and location of what's going to work and function best and be most organized.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. I'm wondering if you might be able to unshare your screen and then maybe leave us with some final thoughts today, or any advice that you have for the chefs who are tuning in.
Yeah, certainly. I first off appreciate everyone who was able to join and listen into this. Happy to be able to share some of our insights and products and solutions that can hopefully make an impact at your operations. I just wanted to reiterate a few of the things that kind of we did cover. When we look at cleaning and sanitizing and ways to impact that labor portion of your business, there is really continual just focus around the things that I had mentioned of selecting the right product for the job, being educated on what that product does, and where it's intended to be used. So having an understanding of the difference between a cleaning product, a sanitizer, and a disinfectant is going to be important. And then also selecting the multi-use products. So identifying solutions, whether you partner with Ecolab at your facilities, identifying solutions that do have capabilities to be used across multiple areas of your operation really can help simplify training of staff and retention of staff, and making sure that they're doing the right thing in the right place. Obviously on top of that, some of the tools that we're really excited about is that on-demand digital training and that task-based learning. That's something that we do see as a lot of opportunity to help staff feel empowered to be able to do their jobs and do it appropriately. And so if you do have any questions or anything further, feel free to reach out. Happy to answer those questions, either things that can come my way, or reach out to your local Ecolab rep. I'm sure that they can provide a lot of great information of anything that you may have questions on.
Well, excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And a huge virtual round of applause as we thank Ecolab and John for a really informative presentation. We certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to share these important insights on cleaning and sanitation with the ACF community of culinary professionals. So some really, really great information, and I learned some things as well. So thank you very much. For those of you tuning in, please be on the lookout for a survey that you'll receive in the next day or so. You'll need to complete that survey in order to earn your 1 hour of ACF CEH. And we also hope that you will join us for our next webinar on December 5th. We are going to be focusing on holiday baking as we learn some great gingerbread house techniques with Chef Brian Peffley. And on December 12th, we hope you'll also tune in for a very special presentation by ACF Young Chefs Club on mentorship and goal setting, with special guests including our current and past ACF Young Chefs Club presidents, as well as ACF National President Kimberly Brock Brown. For more information for culinary news or to register for upcoming webinars, please check out our website, wearechefs.com, and register now for ACF National Convention in New Orleans, July 16th through the 19th. You don't want to miss this awesome educational and networking event in the Big Easy. So on behalf of ACF National Office, thank you again to Ecolab for bringing us this great learning opportunity, and thank you for joining us today. Have a great day and happy Thanksgiving.